Happy birthday, buddy.
All right. Well, hey, everybody. It is not my birthday, but that's okay. Welcome back to Note Camp for a short little break there. We are honored to wrap up day 2 with an amazing, not only an amazing speaker, amazing person, but also a damn good friend of mine. Somebody I've known going on about, I guess, about 6-7 years now we've known each other, Mark.
Yeah.
And just absolutely, if you guys listened beforehand, we're here at Note Camp 5. Mark logged on what he thought was an hour early, which he was actually 15 minutes early. And I was like, Mark, you going to start anytime? He goes, what do you mean? I got another hour. I'm like, no, dude, you're supposed to start now. And you just see that how he is on Scream at Me is how he is when he speaks. He's got a huge heart for helping people totally transform their lives, their businesses, and everything else around it. So without further ado, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Mark Yuzuik.
Hey, you have an applause thing?
Yeah.
I got to play my happy birthday for you, Scott.
We're golden.
You know, I appreciate. I would sing to you, but I don't want you to cut me off.
I can mute you still.
You know, the last time I was here, it was funny because I didn't even know I was live on, and we're sitting there bantering back and forth, just joking around. And I had a few people call me and go, "You really didn't know you were live?" I go, "I don't know." I said, "I've never even done a webinar before." You know, and that's what's kind of cool. I mean, you think about people and what stops them from moving forward, Scott, is their belief that they can't do it, you know? Yeah. And I had that belief where I said, Scott, I've never done a webinar. He goes, well, do one, and then you'll say you can't, then you'll done one. So you get rid of that belief. So I'm like, oh, now he's using my own stuff against me. That's really good, Scott. But, you know, it's true, you know? I mean, it's just like, it's so much fun because you're in the privacy of your own home. You're able to speak, you know, dress the way you want. Like, I have jeans on, but I'll never show you because I'm just with a white shirt on. And I started thinking, you know what? This can reach so many more people that can't actually attend a live event, that they get to information and still be in the privacy of their own home. So, you know what? Thank you for opening my eyes to this whole generation.
Hey, I mean, this is like problem, brother.
2018, you know? But think of, you know, imagine you're sitting at home and imagine the things that hold you back in life, you know? And imagine if you had a system, a strategy that allowed you to have the confidence, eliminate fear, and stop procrastinating. Because, you know, 80% of businesses that are held back, it's not because they don't have the knowledge or they don't have the desire. It's their psychology. And that's what we're going to talk about today. And Scott, you've known me for a long time, and you've seen me, usually when I'm doing live events, we always start off when we do a show. Now, if you don't know what I do, I'm a hypnotist. Now, don't let that get all scared and things like that, because a lot of people go, well, I can't be hypnotized, so what does it have to do with me? And why do you want to do a show? And how is this going to help me make more money and create better relationships? It has nothing to do with the show. The reason we do the show, and you know, Scott, is because we show people how fast they can make a change, and they're influenced all the time. And we're thinking, well, even if you don't even go under on stage, has nothing to do with it. I don't go under on stage. But yet I use and I understand certain patterns, and everything we have is based on our belief system, you know? And if there are people, because it's not about knowledge, it is, you have to have some knowledge. But if anybody on this webinar, Scott, you know, they've already been exposed to so much knowledge. And the key to this, you want to get real knowledge, surround yourself with successful people that have already done it, and you'll learn from them because they've made the mistakes. I mean, any millionaire has made mistakes. Anybody. If you're starting a business, you're going to make mistakes. But it's about making less mistakes. And if there's people out there that are making more money than you right now, it's not because you're not capable or willing to do it. And it's not because you have fear and all this. It's because of a pattern, a belief that you have. Because if somebody else is making it, so can you. And I'm going to show you over the next hour or so of some different patterns that we run every day of our life. And we're like, I don't even do that. And you're thinking, no way. But we're influenced every day of our life. And you know that. And with the show, the demonstration, that's what we show you. We teach you that. You know how hard it is for me to sit in this chair and talk? I'm usually all over the place, you know, running around and all that, because I get excited. So if I start to talk too fast, Scott, you know, tell me slow down a little bit, you know. But that's just who I am. It's that energy that I get because I want people to get it, you know. It's not where you came from. It's not who you are. It's none of that. It's the belief in yourself to know that you can get there. And if you don't have the knowledge, Stick around Scott and his family, his crew, you know, there's plenty of knowledge out there. I didn't have knowledge how to do a webinar. I'm still a little rusty on it, but you know what? What did you do, Scott? You told me, push this button, go here, and we got the results. That's how simple it is, because it's easy to hypnotize somebody to get them or even influence them. The easiest thing, you know, I hear people say, help me lose weight, help me become a non-smoker, help me with more confidence. The easiest thing to do is to get them to make more money, because it's all based on numbers. And that's what I love about this, you know, it has no emotional tie to it. Lose weight could have things, you know, having confidence around people, public speaking, all that. You've got to develop certain confidence. But with making money and creating relationships and all that, it's just a matter of getting out there and doing it, you know. And if you're somebody who knows you could be making more money, you know you can, you have the knowledge, or if you know you can get the knowledge, you're already motivated, and you're not doing it, then you got to ask yourself, why am I not there? And here's what, you know, and I hear this all the time, you know, you got to work smarter, not harder. And it kind of frustrates me a little bit when I hear that. And the reason why is because your subconscious mind is working as smart as it knows how. It just has certain programs, certain beliefs on there that are stopping you, that are allowing you, giving you permission to procrastinate. And as you know, I'm not here to motivate them, because if they're on this webinar or seeing it, they're already motivated. They already want the desire. I am only here to give you more strategies, how to take control of your mind, to understand how it works and of what has held you back. It's nothing more than a belief system. You know, I know you can do, look what you've accomplished, Scott, in your life, and how much people you've influenced, you know, and you've done that based on, well, one, your heart, number one, but to grow. And you talk about beliefs, people have different beliefs all the time. And with the show and the demonstration, I show people how they can make a change instantly, and how those same patterns in the show and the demonstration are the exact patterns that we run every day of our life. I just recently did an event in Orlando, Scott, and I asked for volunteers. You know how it is, right? And this guy kind of moved and he sat back down. Then he kind of moved, sat back down, moved, sat back, and all the chairs were filled. And I said, you procrastinate in life, don't you? You're afraid to get up and take that step, or you want to make sure you don't take somebody else's seat. And then somebody else, all the seats were filled. You know what they did? That guy that stood there in a seat, he had a belief that all the seats were filled, therefore there's no more opportunity. Guess what somebody did? They picked up their chair and they wanted it bad enough. They put the chair on stage and said, I'm getting in this event. I want to be part of it. And I pointed out to him, I said, that's a pattern you run every day of your life. And it was amazing to me. Our event started at 9 o'clock the next day. The guy showed up at 5:30. He says, I'll never procrastinate again. Just on that one lesson. And that's some of the things I want to talk about. It's not so much that they procrastinate, but can you be doing something different, more, have a better relationship to get a different result and spend more time doing the things you love to do with the people you want to do them with? And that's what I love to teach. That's what I love to really influence the people. But you talk about beliefs, you know, there are global beliefs. And here's what happens. You have let's give an example. Here's my PowerPoint. Check it out, son. I have like the worst PowerPoint in the world, but you know what? That's not my strong point. That's okay. You know, just understand it. Roger Bannister, right? Everybody for decades thought you could not run a mile under 4 minutes, right? What did he do? He broke that belief in May 6, 1954. Now, there's a difference between a consumer and an investor in the mindset. A consumer wants to know how much it costs. What do I got to invest in it time-wise and all that? An investor thinks differently. We want to know how much can we make, and what do we got to do to take advantage of the situation? You know, how can we really get there to get this deal done? Now, if you want to be a millionaire, I'll show you the quickest, fastest, easiest way to do it. Stop being the first guy out there trying to invent something. You don't need to do that. It's already done. To become a millionaire, mirror and match. Do what somebody else has done. I don't want to try to figure out how to do a webinar. I'm going to call you, Scott, and go, what do I do? Push this button, push this button, push this button, boom, you get the result. That's what I want to show you. You can get the result because you already have it. Once we change your belief system, boom, you get a wholly different result, brand new result. So guess what? Once Roger Bannister said, you know what, we can break the 1 minute mile, the 4 minute mile under the 1 mile under 4 minutes. This is how he did it. He actually tricked himself, you know, change the clock. But after that, guess what else people started doing? They started believing if he could do it, I could do it. If there are people making more money, having better relationships, getting different results in the same business that you are, then you have the ability and the opportunity to do the same thing. The only thing that stops you is not what you're capable of, and it's not even your motivation. It's your simple belief system. Once you break that and create a brand new one, and I'm going to show you over the next hour how we have certain beliefs and how to break them. Because we have this great brain, but no, we got no way to figure out how to work it other through experience. So guess how long it takes for the guy to do that? What he did was he mirror matched Roger Bannister. It was 46 days later. Now we have a whole new belief system. The whole people, all the world knows that it can be done under a minute, under 4 minutes. You can run a mile under 4 minutes because it's been done before. Knowing that, that's a brand new belief system. And we acquire these beliefs based on what we're capable of doing on our, and what we're willing to do based on this up here. But if you understand this, if you have ever had a desire to do something and nothing was going to stop you, that's, look, I'm making up words now. Nothing stops you. It's because you had a drive and a desire, a passion that you didn't care what it took to get there. You were going to get there. And then sometimes, boom, you hit a like a brick wall. Let me explain to you how your mind works. Think about belief system. For how many people believe that the world was flat, right? Now they go back to believing it's flat again. I'm not saying if you're one of those people that it isn't, but I've been around the world and I've never fallen off. Scott, I think you've been around the world and you're still here too, so you've never fallen off.
Yeah, I'd make it splash, a little bigger splash, but yeah.
But look at the ripple effect you've had. It came all the way back here, right? You surfed your way back. I want you to forget about the word hypnosis, because people put meanings and identities to certain words. Hypnosis means, oh my gosh, they're gonna take control of my mind and this. Forget about that. Just take an eraser and erase it out of your mind. Here's why. I want to show you how your mind works. And I'm going to give you demonstrations to show you how easily you're influenced every day of your life without even realizing it. All of us. Your mind is made up of two parts. One, you got the conscious mind. Conscious mind analyzes everything. It's the part that's creative. You know what? I have a desire. I have a conscious desire to watch this webinar. I have a conscious desire to go to dinner. You made a conscious decision. That's the conscious mind, analyzes everything. And there's all these words going through our mind, zipping through our mind every day, right? The subconscious mind is like the hard drive on a computer. It takes everything literally. I mean, what you put in is what you get out. That's how simple it is. It's very simple-minded. Can you see that? Look, Bill Walsh just texted me. It's very simple, okay? So think about this. If you have a computer, and if you worked on a computer, and there's a hard drive on there, is it possible that you could be working on your computer and a virus pops up there without you knowing about it, without you even knowing about it? Your computer's working fine, everything's going fine. It's possible, right? And as the day goes on or the weeks go on, you don't even know that virus is there. And you continue to work on your computer, and before you know it, there's another virus. But there's a tipping point. There becomes a tipping point in life where you just go, you know what? My computer isn't giving me the results I want, just like we do in our own life. I have a desire to lose weight, to be a non-smoker, to have more confidence, to create a better relationship, to make more money, to attract things into my life. Those are constant desires. But sometimes we get sidetracked and we kind of give up on those. And it's not a lack of motivation. Because why would you be motivated? You have all the motivation, the knowledge, the information, especially on this last, this thing you put, this conference, powerful stuff. I mean, the speakers you have no reason to fail. You have to intentionally not do anything in order to fail. But if you took a percentage, a small percentage of those speakers that you've listened to and applied a percentage of that, you're going to get massive results. Am I right, Scott?
Yes, sir. Without having to add any corn, they'll do your bunghole like the Beavis over there.
Yeah. So you've got this. So you're working on your computer, and all of a sudden you get a virus. But like I say, there's a tipping point. You know what? You constantly know that your computer isn't running right. So you have two choices. One, you either get an antivirus and fix it, or you say, you know what, I'll pretend like it doesn't exist. And if you pretend it doesn't exist, does it go away? No. Not only does it not go away, it probably picks up more viruses and it supports that negative virus. Same thing we have. We have negative programs on our subconscious mind. And then let's do this. I'm just going to close my computer down and then pretend it doesn't exist. Does that make it go away? No. Not only does it not go away, if you open it 10 years later, you probably got more viruses. And that's the same thing that we have in our life. Forget about the word hypnosis. Is it possible that you could have some programs on your subconscious mind that takes everything literally that are not giving the results that you want? Is that possible? And if the answer is yes, I know I could be getting more. I know I could have a better relationship. I know I could be doing more for my life. Then the answer is you are running some programs. It's not necessarily that your desire isn't there. It's that your subconscious has certain belief patterns. And those belief patterns come based on events that happen and the meaning you give it. Okay? That's how your mind works. So forget about the word hypnosis. If you're open to saying, you know what? I've got some programs on my subconscious mind I would like to change. I would like to focus on the good ones and eliminate some of the bad ones. If you're open to that, this program will blow your mind. And I'm going to show you some different strategies and things that you're going to understand why it's like that, okay? So that's your conscious mind, your subconscious mind. Now, you got your conscious mind, your subconscious mind. From there, you create your patterns and behaviors where you automatically respond. See, we are automatically responding to things every day of our life without us even realizing it. Where we get up and we react. We get up, we react, and we don't know why we're doing it. Here's why. You're creating that in your subconscious mind without you thinking about it. So I want you to do this. I'm going to put something on the board real fast, and I want you to read it out loud at home, okay? There is. Now that you read it, I'm going to show you what you maybe did not see. How many, if you're honest with yourself, how many missed the word the twice? It's there twice. And the reason you missed it, and here's why you missed it. Now, if you're auditory, you probably caught it. But if you're visual things, you probably missed it. Here's why it was missed. It's because your subconscious mind's only desire, its only job is to move away from pain, move toward pleasure, but its only job is to make things make sense toward you. If it makes sense, it puts it in there. It doesn't make sense to read. Now, we all know how to read, but there is nothing quite as beautiful as Italy in the spring. To say the word that twice, your subconscious goes, that doesn't make sense. So it eliminates things that don't make sense and puts things that make sense to your mind without you thinking about it. Now, that's just a pattern that you run every day. So we have certain patterns that we run every day of our life. They're meaningless. It's like, say something like this. It's simple. But then there's also a different pattern. There's a pattern of restriction. And this is what I want to get to. Pattern of restriction. Have you ever been really motivated? You know, I want to buy more notes. I know I can do it. You're on these webinars. You're learning. You're taking great notes. You're right there. You've got everything going for you. You got all the relationships. And all of a sudden, after this webinar in January, you kind of back off a little bit. You find yourself getting more busy and less productive. Is that possible? Why is that possible? Because you have a certain pattern that you're running in your subconscious mind. Now, I just want you to be aware and recognize these patterns so you can make the change. A pattern restriction is you develop a belief that what you want isn't possible for you, and then you give up trying. Give an example of that. You know what? I'm going to try to lose some weight. So you go on this diet, you lose the weight, you quit the diet, and the lowest you ever weighed was then that diet, the last day of that diet, and you put it back on. Then you come again, right? So you put the weight back on after you lost the weight. I wonder if anybody's ever done that out there. Because I do lose weight seminars all over the world, so I see this pattern all the time. So what happens when the holidays are coming up? I want to look good for my holidays. We got family pictures. We got something coming up. New Year's resolution. We have that a lot. I'm going to lose weight again. I'm going on this diet. I found this brand new diet. But your subconscious mind says, hang on a second. Didn't we try that before? What makes you think you're going to lose weight and keep it off? Hang on a second. Didn't we do a seminar before we learned all about note buying? Why, wait, we kind of backed up. So your subconscious mind says it sabotages you. And what happens at that point, you have two choices. When you hit this pattern of restriction, you hit a wall, you either have to, one, take a different action, or you have to change the story, because when you hit this wall, you have this thing called guilt. Oh my God, you feel bad. So your mind says, I've got to avoid pain and move towards pleasure. How do I do that? I either have to take certain actions differently, or I've got to change the story. So what do? Go, I'll change the story. That's what it is. Now's not the right time. You know what? Holidays are coming up. I don't have time to do my note business. Besides, there's probably no good deals on it anyway. It's Christmas time. It's Thanksgiving time. It's Halloween. It's New Year's. So there's no deals out there. So I'll just wait till after the first of the year. That's what I'll do. So why do you do that? The reason why we do that is because we feel different. We relieve the pressure. If I create a new story, I don't have to be accountable, take the action, no more guilt. Boom, I'm relieved. And that's the pattern of restriction. So what happens about January then? Did you get all motivated again? Nope. Reason why is because you have the pattern. So what happens is you start to feel guilty. I know I could be getting more. I know I can be making more money. I know I can be, doing all this stuff. So what do? You get pumped up again. Scott has another event. You're going to go to the event. That's what I'm going to do. So you put it off and you wait till the next event. And then all of a sudden you go to the event, you're pumped up again. 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks later, boom, you hit a wall again. Second pattern of restriction. Guess what? You give up the sense of responsibility. You stop pretending there's a gap between what you want and what you have. You know what? What I've got a good life. My life is good enough. You're not here for a good enough life. You're here for an extraordinary life. It's not good enough. The reason why you felt the guilt is every thought has a physical response. So your body is saying, hey, mind, we can do this. We've got the knowledge. We've got the relationships. We've surrounded ourselves with successful people. Let's mirror and match them. Remember that short bald guy that kept talking loud? He told us if we mirror and match success, we'll become successful. Do what they do, we'll get the same result. He even learned how to do a webinar because of Scott. Simple. So your mind you start to feel guilty. Your body's telling your mind you need to make some changes. So what do? You go to the event, you start, and then 5, 6 weeks later, you give up. That's the second pattern because you think your life is good enough and you make excuses, right? Because you have to do 1 or 2 things now. Take the action. And the reason you don't take the action is because what you think is you focus on the work that you have to do instead of the result that you want, which I'm fixing to get to in just a short period. So what you do is you either have to take the action or create a new story. What am I going to do? It's easier to create a new story. So you know what? My life is good. I don't have to take risks. Now's not the time. It's the first of the year. I want to spend it with my family. Snow is great in Salt Lake City. It's great in Utah. I'm going skiing. Pack up the kids. Let's go. Come on, honey. We deserve it. And so you give yourself permission not to feel guilty by creating a new story. And that's the reason why you have that pattern of restriction. But then you start to feel the resentment again. So guess what? Pumped up again. I got a new idea. Boom. So guess what? You hit another event and you hit a third pattern of restriction. Pattern of restriction is you lose desire and forget you ever wanted. You hit that wall again. None of you are there because you wouldn't be on this webinar if you were. But I want you to be able to recognize what patterns. Nobody ever has been hypnotized. Forget about the word hypnosis. I don't go under for a stage show, but yet I understand patterns and how your mind works. Conscious mind, subconscious mind. Your patterns are on your subconscious mind. Your desires are on your conscious mind. Let's get our conscious mind to influence the subconscious so we get a better result. So, do you have some patterns you want to change? We all do. And this is how you do it, by recognizing what's working for you and what isn't. That doesn't mean what you focus on is what you're going to get. That means you're aware of your pattern of restriction, but you don't focus on them. You focus on the good things that you've done and reward yourself for your good behaviors. All right? Now, you understand with that. So forget about the word hypnosis, but I'm going to tell you what hypnosis is, just so you know. Hypnosis is nothing more than influence and persuasion. Somebody says something to you. You see, feel, hear, experience it, believe it to be true, and you act upon it. That's all it is. Knowing that that's all it is it possible you could have been influenced by people from your childhood and your past? Is it possible? Is it also possible that we could have multiple influences on our subconscious mind that are getting us the results and driving our behavior and our action? Is that possible? Absolutely. It's the way we run our life. Our whole life is based on this. I want to show you how you can break that pattern of restriction so you can move forward. So you learn what influences you. You think about influence, parents are big influence, or lack of parents. Remember video games when we were kids, Scott? Pong, boom, boom, boom. Now look at the video games they have. All negative, you know. TV shows. We had Leave It to Beaver. My three sons. Well, the Three's Company, Mork and Mindy. But think about today. All the garbage that sells, you know, it's, and we wonder why we have the problems we have, you know. We need to be more accountable and raise ourselves and children so we can influence them in a positive way. I remember now we have multiple influence in our life. And when I was younger, my parents told me I could do anything and I would be successful, right? And then it changed for me. I'm gonna tell you a quick story about how I wound up in this chair that I want to get up and move. When I was 12 years old, I left home. I went to a private school in Spokane, Washington. It was not so much a school as it was a cult, I found out. And the way they taught is they had one book. One teacher had one book, and they'd write on the left-hand side and right-hand side, and then erase it. And it was our job to write that information down. I could not write down as fast as they were erasing, so I only got 2/3 of the information. And that was our books. They had plenty of books, but you know what? Control. So guess what? Guess what kind of grades that I got all through high school, knowing that I only got 2/3 of the information? Straight Fs. It's encouraging. Oh, you're learning from a guy that got straight Fs. So what happened was, what did I do? When I'd go to the teachers at the parent-teacher conference, they'd ask me, what's your problem? My problem? I don't have a problem. I can't keep up. And they would tell me, you're not trying hard enough. You're a failure here, be a failure in life. How do you ever expect to make it in life when you're never going to expect to make it out of school? You're not going to graduate, you're never going to get your diploma. So start applying yourself, young man. And you know how they poke you in the chest? Oh, and they use guilt with a religion. So I understand, because I'm Catholic, I understand true guilt, you know. But you get to a point in life where sometimes what you think is the worst thing that ever happened to you turns out to be the greatest blessing in your life. I just talked to a young lady 30 minutes ago that said, what I thought was the biggest problem turned out to be the greatest blessing in my life. I'm going to make more money because I had this problem than I ever had before. You ever done that? Did you ever make money based on the problem that you thought you had, and then you figured out a new solution? That's how you do it. Welcome the problem so we can figure out new solutions. Don't get angry with them, embrace them. That's how our brain works. It figures things out, you know, and you surround yourself with people like that that are going to get you some different answers. That's how you grow. You don't grow by staying sitting, you know. It's like water. Water will get stale sitting, you know. But the challenge was I got very angry, and they told me that I was never going to make it. Well, you get to a point with me where you tell me I can't do something, I get mad. So I left that school, and I will be honest with you, I did not graduate, so they were right. But knowing who I am, Scott, you understand this. I found where the diplomas were, and I actually took a blank diploma. I stole that piece of paper. So if you ask me if I have a high school education, I'll ask you, do I have my diploma? Absolutely, I do. I got a diploma.
But it's got somebody else's name on it, is what you're saying?
It was blank. I filled it out myself. Absolutely true story. I mean, you know that to this day. I tell that story because here's why. But I got angry at that, you know? And when somebody tells me you're never going to make it, you're never going to amount to anything, it works two ways, Scott. It either motivates you or it tears you down. But you got to recognize what pattern you're running. You know, when if I told you, Scott, you'll never make it, man, you would run me over like a bulldozer, you know, because that's how you're built, you know. And then I got angry. So I got into real estate at a very young age. 1984, I bought my first house. 1985, I bought 9 houses. 1986, about 36 houses. And it kept going and going and going. But the challenge was I got to a point where I was sabotaging myself in ways like this. When I talk about that, okay, bought an airplane at 21 years old. Didn't even know how to fly. But I thought if I bought an airplane, people would think I'm successful, which I was. But I wanted people to think I had more than I did. Because all I want to do is human nature. I want to be loved and accepted, make sure I'm good enough. I mean, that's it. That's what I wanted, you know? And so we pretend like we have something or we have more than we have. So people look up to us. It's just a human thing that people sometimes do. Not all people, but sometimes. And I remember I'd get to a point where I would just take more vacations and I wasn't getting to the next level. I remember my brother telling me, he goes, dude, you got to go to the fair and see this hypnotist guy. I go, Tony, you don't really believe in that stuff. And he goes, no, let's go there. So eventually he talked me into it. I went there. And I remember seeing, he had 3 shows a day. I remember seeing the first show, and as funny as can be. And I said, you don't really believe in that. You know, they're plants. He goes, no, I'm telling you, it's real, you know. I remember seeing the second show was different people. And I remember thinking, you know what? This guy's got about 15 people in each show. If he's paying him $20 a head, he's got 3 shows. That's $900 a day. How much is this guy making? You know, so I'm looking at it. And I remember going to the hypnotist at the second show, and I go, hey, Terry, what is this hypnosis stuff? I mean, they're using plants, and I don't care. I mean, I enjoy the show. I'm not going to say anything. He goes, no, all it is I'm giving a direct suggestion to the subconscious mind. I put the conscious mind asleep so they automatically respond. They know exactly what they're doing the entire time. That's all I'm doing. Relaxing the conscious mind, giving a direct suggestion to the subconscious mind that never sleeps. And he goes, why don't you get in my next show? Now I went from a non-believer to thinking, what if this is real? Maybe it is. I don't know. He invited me in the show, and I'm certainly not going to act like that or fake it. And he asked me, he goes, does that make sense to you? And I said, absolutely, when you explain it like that. And I walked away, Scott, and I'll never forget this. In my mind, I thought, what the heck is he talking about? Conscious, subconscious? I have no idea what he's talking about. But remember this, your subconscious mind's only job is to protect you, right? Conscious mind analyze. So your subconscious, to avoid pain, move towards pleasure. What it tells me is, I didn't want to ask him, no, I don't understand, because I didn't want to look stupid. And if you ever been in an event where everyone goes, does everybody understand what I'm talking about? If you don't understand, raise your hand. And you're the only one you think in the room doesn't understand, so you don't want to raise your hand to be the only one that looks stupid, so you don't raise your hand. There's probably half the audience that doesn't understand anyway, but we don't want to look stupid. It's a human behavior that we have. So I walked away thinking, man, I wish I had asked him. But the reason I didn't ask him, I didn't have enough reasons why. I wasn't driven enough to find out the answer. I was more concerned about how he judged me rather than what the results I wanted. And that's what holds us back in life too. Oh, if I take a risk and I start buying more notes, my God, what if it doesn't work? People judge me, think, that note thing wasn't good. You got ripped off. Instead of believing in yourself and coming from your heart, you listen to the outside talk in your head, and your head messes you up. And I remember watching the third show, but here's what happened. When I was picking people, I was kind of hiding. I didn't want him to see me because I thought, oh my God, if he sees me, he might pick me. I saw that third show, and it was different people. And I left that night, and I couldn't stop thinking about what I saw, because if what I saw was real, this was the most powerful thing I've ever experienced in my life. And I remember going home, and I couldn't sleep. Did you ever come to an event, and Scott, this has happened to you many times, you go to the event, and you don't know why you wound up there. It's just, I wound up there, and it was a life-changing event for you. And you couldn't sleep that night. And I remember going back the next day, and I brought my cousin. I go, Teddy, you got to go see this hypnotist guy. And we went back there, and a part of me was hoping I'd see the same people on stage, because then I can confirm that I was right. It's fake. It's not real. But a part of me was hoping it would be real, so I can make some changes. So I had conflicting interests going on there, right? And I remember the first show was different people. And I thought, oh my gosh. And a second show came up, and I believe this, you know this too. If you ever want to experience anything in life, you got to fully dive in. You got to go for it. And you got to say, you know what? I'm going to be part of this. So second show comes in. He was asking for volunteers. You know exactly what I did. I got my cousin to volunteer. Because if he did it, I know he's not going to fake it. Why should I do it, right? I swear to God, I got him to do it. That's awesome. Went under it. It was the funniest thing I ever seen in my life. And I remember at the end of the show coming back, and the hypnotist saying, you know, you're going to be confident, full of energy. And he's not like that. And he's walking around. I go, Teddy, what was it like? He goes, I knew what I was doing. I just couldn't stop myself. See, we do the same things in life. We procrastinate, and we don't know why. You know, we have fear, and we don't know why. And fear and procrastination support each other. So we don't know why we're doing all this. And we're doing these things because it's a pattern we're running. And I remember walking around the fair, it was the Arizona State Fair, and I go, Teddy, do you think if he told you to be a non-smoker, you'd quit? He goes, probably because. I said, what if he told somebody to lose weight? He goes, I guess they'd lose weight. And I said, what if he told somebody to be a millionaire, what would happen? I go, we looked at each other and go, I don't know, let's go check it out. So we went back to the hypnotist. Now, knowing my background, usually the story is a lot longer, so you really understand it, but I'm trying to keep on track here, Scott. The first thing I asked Terry is, Terry, did you sell your soul to the devil, have this power? He kind of laughed and goes, no, I did not. And I says, well, you got to tell me what this hypnosis, conscious, subconscious, whatever you said yesterday, I didn't understand it. Why did I ask that? Because I had enough reasons why. I had a desire to learn something, and I got out of my head and realized I can move forward now. And when we get out of our head, we can move towards our goals. We don't have to think about what people are going to think about us. We can make a difference in how people feel about themselves and actually bring them up to our level instead of going down to theirs. Because people will try to tear you down. And I said, explain what it is. And I said, could you help somebody be a non-smoker? I do it all the time. I said, what about helping somebody lose weight? He goes, all the time. I go, what about helping somebody become a millionaire? And he goes, why do you ask? And I said, well, I am successful, but I get to a point where I sabotage myself. He goes, well, what was your childhood like? I said, my parents told me I could do anything. I'd be successful. I believed him. He goes, good, that's a pattern. And he explained what it was, subconscious, conscious mind patterns and all that. He says, have you ever had an influence in your life where they told you you'd never make it? And it's so funny, and you'll understand this. Your body will tell you the answer before your head can acknowledge it. I had my first hot flash, and I know what women go through now. My entire body heated up because the answer was right there. And what replayed in my mind, my subconscious was, you'll never amount to anything. How are you ever going to make it in life? You're a failure here in school. You'll be a failure in life. He goes, you're running a pattern. You need to break that pattern. And it was that day on that I vowed I would never, ever let anybody take control of my mind again. And I learned all about hypnosis and how to influence people, but how to give people their mind back. And then from there, I started buying more and more houses and stopped sabotaging myself. Now we do multiple deals. We buy notes consistently. My business partner buys notes all the time, and I stopped buying and I stopped sabotaging myself. So what right do I have to be on this webinar, Scott? You know what? I've earned the right to be here, because not through some book, not through learning, but through experience, hardcore experience. And now what I do is I give people their mind back. Don't you dare let anybody tell you can't do something ever in life. You have the ability to do it. Don't you let anybody get in your head. You're in control of your head. You're in control of what things mean to you. And you know what? If somebody's tearing you down, get rid of that person. And you surround yourself with people that are going to keep you accountable, that are going to truly be your true friend, and not somebody going to tell you, oh, it's okay, it's your fault, you don't have to be successful. That's not a friend. A friend's going to tell you the truth. You might not like what they have to say, but you know what? It's something that you need to hear, and you need to make changes. So don't you dare let anybody take control of your mind again. And so I continued, and now I do developments. You know what my story is now, Scott. And I am so grateful for that experience, because you know what? It could have gone either way, but I don't let it take control of me. And now I give people their mind back. And I love that. And you know what? You do the same thing. You give people an opportunity through your webinars, and through the knowledge and I've seen your students, Scott. You think I'm excited? Oh my God. They are on cloud 9, because you know what? They've got the best coach in the world. You know what, Scott? You are a rock star when it comes to coaching, and I am too, because we keep people accountable. And it's coming from a place of caring, and not from any other place, you know. And
Amen to that, brother.
I just love that about you. And that's why I get so excited when I do these webinars with your C, you know.
Everybody.
We joke around, we have fun and all that stuff, but you know what? The truth is, we're making a difference. We're making a difference in somebody's life.
Yep.
Add a drink to that.
Yep.
You know, look at Albert Einstein. Oh my God, look at his hair. I mean, poor guy. He's a brilliant man. He was brilliant, but he had some dysfunctions. He didn't get along with his family, didn't get along with his kids, had his clothes folded a certain way. But here's what he discovered, you know. He realized the power of the subconscious mind, and he realized how to tap into that. He says, in order to achieve something you never achieved before, you must become someone you've never been before. I didn't want to change who I was, and I don't want to change anybody out there. You already have what it takes to make it. You already have the patterns in your subconscious mind. The answers are already there. But the problem is we get caught up in doing one thing one way, and we forget to look what's outside. And sometimes the answer is right outside the circle. You got to see what's there and what isn't there. But sometimes you don't even see it, and it's right in front of you. You know, and talk about dysfunction. Here's a guy that was dysfunctional. But I believe this: if you don't have dysfunction in your family, in your life, then you are dysfunctional. Why is it that people seem to have everything going for them? You know, they grow up they're popular, the parents give them everything, they're financially successful. They grow up to be, on drug addicts, suicide, they have more problems than anybody else. But yet you take somebody who's been abused sexually, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, and we take that energy and we grow up to be super achievers. It's because we don't allow events to bring us down. We find the power and meaning behind everything. And thank God some of those experiences happened to us, because if they didn't, we couldn't be the man or the woman we are today. And you got to realize that he came from a dysfunctional family. He was dysfunctional, but he was brilliant at that, you know. There's 3 things you need to make a change. Am I doing on time, Scott? Am I doing all right? I'll try to keep up.
Totally good on time. You're fine on time.
Okay, bro. I'm trying. It's hard for me to sit here, you know. I'm engaged, I'm in that, but
yeah, you're usually bouncing around. You're doing good, man. You're doing
okay. Good. Okay. Just as long, okay, I want to respect everybody's time. 3 things. One is you got to have the right mindset. When I'm talking about mindset, I'm talking about your mindset, your specific mindset. Everybody's mindset is different. You know what? When you talk about your mindset, what are your patterns that you're running that are good? What are your pattern restrictions? People think about, you know, what's the one emotion that stops us from moving forward? We think it's fear, right? Oh, it's fear. It's not fear. You know what fear is? It's a lack of experience or a bad experience. But what happens is we have fear and we procrastinate. It's our pattern, our subconscious mind. But we got to realize what are the patterns that are working, focus on that, but be aware of our pattern restrictions so we can make the change. Because everybody's mindset's different. You know, for the last almost 3 decades, I've understood people's mindset and how to get them to make change, how to get them to make change instantly. It's not a big, long years of people in therapy. Quit all that. You can make a change instantly. How do you make a change? One is you got to have the right purpose. What are the reasons why you want something? You know why I went up to Terry and said, Terry, you got to tell me what this conscious, subconscious mind is because I had enough reasons why. Have you ever had enough reasons why you wanted something and nothing was going to stop you? Like, nothing's going to stop me. I'm going for it. It's because you had enough reasons. And to think about this, do you have enough reasons that nothing was going to stop you? And you didn't know how you were going to get it, but you knew you wanted it. And you know what? You figured out along the way. Because in life, we can plan for something, but we got to also plan to make some changes, because our plan in our mind will always have changes and some roadblocks in it. But if we learn to maneuver around the roadblocks, we'll figure out a better way to do it. Sometimes the problems are the greatest gift if we don't think of them as problems, but opportunities. And your purpose, never lose focus of your purpose. And the third thing is about making the moves, the right moves. What I love about hypnosis is it gets you to make the right moves automatically. You have the right mindset. You all have the right mindset. You all have a millionaire mindset, or you wouldn't be on this webinar. You have that belief. You have the right reason. Sometimes we make the wrong moves. We get busy. We're not productive. And the reason we stay busy is because we don't want to feel guilty. If we took time off, we're going to feel guilty. So we stay busy and we're not being productive. Then we get frustrated. We give up. Pattern restriction. And it's all based on your belief, based on what you feel you deserve. So making the right moves is important. You want to learn to make the right moves? Don't be Roger Bannister. Be John Landon. Mirror and match. Somebody's already done it. You know, one of my business partners made $83 million in 3 years. But the year before, he lost everything. The best thing that ever happened is he lost it because he came back stronger. That's one of my business partners. That's the guy you want to learn from. Because you know what? He's going to make it again. He doesn't stop. And now look at him. You know, that's what I'm talking about, making the right moves. Surround yourself with people that have already done it, mirror match them, get the same result. You've got a team of people with Scott that you have powerful. I'm talking about the financing, the deals. It's endless. It's endless. You could sit home and be a millionaire if you follow 10% of what you learned on this webinar the last few days and the next couple of days, you will be a multimillionaire. No question in my mind, unless you absolutely sleep through the whole thing and don't apply it. And I'm not telling you what you need to hear. I'm telling you what you got to hear, what you don't want. You got to listen to this because it's, you know what you need to do. But sometimes we let our excuses get in the way. No more excuses. You got to have no more excuses. What I love about it, we don't put up with any excuses. We make sure we empower everybody in our live event because we know that sometimes it's the excuses that hold you back. It's not your capability or what you want to do or even your mindset. It's we got to give you a new empowering story, you know. Vivid imagination reality. This is really, I wish I was at a live event. I could show you some things that will help you like that, you know. And what you focus on is what you're going to get. If you think you're going to focus on your bills, I have a friend, all he focuses on is, I got to go make more money. I got bills. I got bills. I got bills. He'll never get out of debt. So he's always in debt. I'm like, dude, you got to quit focusing on it. Focus on, I love bills because I get to pay them off. I love them. I don't focus on bills. I look forward to them so I can prepay them and overpay them just to get ahead of the electric company, you know? But if you focus on being stressed and having fear and, you know, your bills and, you know, oh my God, I'm sick and your health, guess what? That's what's going to happen to you. If you can focus on that, because your mind does not know the difference between vivid imagination and reality. What you believe to be true is true for you. But if you can focus on that, who's in charge of your mind? You are. You got your mind. Don't let anybody get in your mind. Kick them out. Lock the door. Throw them out. Only the ones that you want to invite in there, let in. People that are going to say, you know what, if you could focus on making millions of dollars, attract that into your life. You know, you could focus on having a house that you want to live in, attract it in your life. You're in charge of what you want to focus on. You want a car, attract it in your life. You know, you want, when somebody tells you can't do something, tell them how you feel. Tell them how you really go for it, you know. Don't let anybody get in your way. Because you know what you believe to be true is true for you. Focus on it. The reason why you have vision boards is because guess what? It's a vision that you're bringing to you. Have you ever bought a car that nobody else, you know, finally find a car that you wanted? Nobody else has ever had this car. You buy this car and guess what? Now you drive out of the lot and you start seeing all these cars. Same people have the same cars. Like, how did that happen? Because you're aware of it. Now you're aware of that. Be aware of your surroundings. Sometimes the answers are right around you, right outside the circle, but you're so focused on one thing, you miss it. Have you ever really, really thought about something that you wanted? Like somebody was going to call you, you're going to run into somebody. Yeah, I mean, you're just like, I have this feeling. Every thought is a physical response. You attract it in your life. And all of a sudden, that person called. Or you go, I know, I had a feeling we're going to call. Or you ran into that person. Or you saw something. It's like, oh my gosh, it's almost like deja vu. You attracted it into your life. You know, you have the ability to attract either something that is negative or something that's positive. And what you're going to focus on is going to bring into your life. And you can attract anything that you want. So you know what? If you have the choice and it's your mind, you're in charge of your mind, guess what? Decide what you want. Create that vision board. A vision board, you know what? 1953, Yale University did a study. They interviewed the graduating class. And one of the questions were, how many have written clear goals down? 3% did. 3%. It's crazy. But they interviewed them 20 years later. And you know what they found out? That the 3% had more wealth than the 97% combined. Yale University, that study. I remember listening to Tony Robbins' CD and he told me that. I never got that out of my mind. The reason why is you're deciding your future in advance. It's a GPS to success. And you know what GPS is? When you get off track, it reroutes you. You know what? Your visual, it's going to reroute you. Decide what you want, but keep the end goal in mind and you'll always make it. You know, you got the answer. The answer's right there. Sometimes right outside the circle. You know? Like I said, I'm going to put 66 numbers on the board. And I'll give you a second to look at them. And then I'm going to start counting up the numbers. You got to go along with this. Focus on this for a second. As I count those numbers, you follow along, all right? Find the number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, here's what's going on. Some of you are having trouble keeping up, or you're getting frustrated. The reason why you're getting frustrated because by the time I get to 30 or 40, you're going to give up. You're like, no, it's too hard. And you do the same thing in business. What you're doing is you're like, okay, it's too hard. I quit. I got to get away from it. It's too stressful. I got to get away from it, right? If I could show you a strategy, how you can find those numbers twice as fast with less effort, and you apply the same principles in your business. In other words, you work half the time and you make twice the money. Would that be beneficial to you? My guess is, yep. How do I do it? I told you that the answer is right outside the circle. Here's what happened. You didn't even see it, right? See the dot there? The dot there? Draw a line. Oh, what just happened? The dot's been there the whole time. I even told you that the answer is right outside the circle. But what happened is we look at one way to do something. And in business, you got to look at multiple ways. Now, just by drawing that line, most of you, 80% if not more, already saw the dot on the top and bottom. What's going on now is your subconscious mind is looking for a new way, a new pattern of finding those numbers. Because there's always strategies and patterns in our mind. And there's always a system. Find the number 1 now. Look at right there. Number 2, second box, 3. Guess which box number 5 is? Could you find those numbers twice as fast with less stress? Yes, because you're not looking at the whole thing. You found a new way of doing it. You know, that's what it's about. It's about being productive, not so busy. But we stay busy so we don't feel guilty because we don't feel we deserve success. Whole nother product, whole nother deal, right? I do this sometimes in my live events, and I'll stop the event and I'll go, I'm giving you 30 minutes. 30 minutes to memorize 850 numbers at random. You cannot repeat the number. If you repeat the number, you got to give me $1,000. Stand over here if you do that. If you didn't repeat the number, I give you 1,000. Stand there if you want to take over that challenge. You know what? Less than 5% will take me up on that. And the reason why is because guess what? Boom, pattern restriction kicked in. They develop a belief that what they want isn't possible for them. So they immediately give up. And the same thing happens in business. If you've missed out on a deal and somebody, a note, whatever it is, and somebody else bought that and made money, it wasn't because the deal wasn't there, it's because the pattern restriction kicked up. If I could show you a way for $1,000, I'll show you a way, and you can make $2,000 if you did it. Would you pay me the $1,000? Do you know a handful would say no? They try to figure it out themselves. And that's the reason why they keep going to events and they don't realize the power of knowledge of somebody who has the experience. Some would say, I'll do it in a second. You already have the answers in your subconscious mind. All I'm going to do is expose them for you. I'm going to show you so many multiple patterns in your mind that you can expose to get your business and personal life to the next level. What? I'll give you an example. 850 numbers at random, piece of cake. Why can't you go 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 850 times? 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 5, 10, 15, 20. How about 10, 20? There are many patterns, but you're going, oh, I didn't know that was the deal. You don't know. So guess what? You miss out on deals because you don't see the deal. You look at the whole picture instead of realizing that the reason you missed out on the deal is because you only saw one way of doing it. And when you only see one way of doing it, somebody else comes in and it's so simple for them because they are using many patterns. And when you only use one, your other patterns go dormant. You already have what it takes. I'm not here to motivate you. I'm here to give you new strategies to unlock your subconscious. That's all I want to do. You have what it takes already. Trust me when I say this. I'm a high school dropout who has made it and influenced hundreds of thousands of people to get their life to the next level. I'm not teasing. I'm trying to impress you because I'm a high school dropout. I'm telling you the real deal. If I can do it, you can do it. I've done thousands of real estate deals. I buy notes. I do this. I'm doing it. But you know what? I had the same problems back in the 20s, but I got over it. Now I'm teaching it. You don't have to spend all that time. All right. Number one is you got to have a millionaire mindset. You know that 94% of all failure is a result of the system, not the people. And here's a guy that changed the face of China and Japan. How did he do that? Did he go out and get all new people? No, he didn't get no people. What he did was he changed their mindset. That's all it was. Ask yourself this, and I know the answer to this, and you got to be straight up and honest with you, because the only advantage you have right now is because I'm not live in front of you. Because if I was, I'd be able to read your body language. Do you believe you have the ability with the knowledge you already have to become a millionaire, not a multimillionaire? You got to ask with the knowledge you already have. And if you've been on these webinars before, you've met Scott before, you know the answer to that. Yes, you do. Given the right opportunity, do you believe with the knowledge you already have, you have the ability to be a millionaire from normal multimillionaire? Yes, you do. And do you believe that there are many, many, many ways just in the note business of becoming a millionaire, not a multimillionaire? Yes, there are. And I want to hear excuse, I can't get funding, because you know what? Right before I came on, I listened to a gentleman, Merrill, that actually showed you how you get hundreds of thousands of dollars to invest. So no more excuses. It's your mindset. All he did was change their mindset. But here's what happens. You believe that you can do it, and you believe that there are many ways, then why aren't you there? Your limitations are not based on what you can achieve. It's based on what you feel you deserve. Your limitations are not based on what you feel you can achieve. It's based on what you feel you deserve. And society is going to convince you that it's not your fault. Oh, it's not. Oh, it's not your fault. No, this happened to you. You know the right opportunity. This is why you have a good job. So guess what? You start believing them instead of allowing them to empower you and finding empowering solutions to get you to move forward. Everything you have in life is based on what you feel you deserve. I believe you deserve more. Don't you let society tear you down and create your limitations and your belief system so you don't move forward. Surround yourself with people that are better than you. All my coaches are way more successful than I am and way more experienced. And I do that because I keep pushing myself up further. Do the same thing. I believe you have the ability. Like I say, I'm not here to motivate you. I'm here to give you new strategies on information you already have to become a millionaire. You have to believe, number one, is you're a millionaire. If you don't believe it, what you believe to be true is true for you, you'll never attract it into your life. Stop focusing on what you don't have. Focus on what you're going to get, what you already have. Imagine there being millions of dollars in your bank account. How would you react? How would you live? You have the ability already to do that. It's based on not what you can achieve, isn't based on what you can achieve, it's based on what you feel you deserve. And I believe you deserve more. Don't you dare let society hold you back. Boom, shakalaka, right? Mindset is everything. Here's a gentleman that went to one of my seminars. He texted me this, right? This was May 3rd. And I believe I spoke to him. I did a seminar in, it was in April, the end of April. A doctor, this is an actual text message, you know? I invited him to my live event. He said, thanks, Mark. I will be there. And thank you for hypnotizing me. I had a great weekend so far, making $19,000. Making $19,000. You've changed how I feel. So thank you again. I can't wait to get to your seminar, to your event. That's $19,000 a week. This is a chiropractor. You know what that is over a year? It's $1 million over a year. If all I did was that one thing and he stopped and never applied anything, nothing else, was that worth it for him? Yes, it was. And the thing is, I love to hypnotize you. Not only love to hypnotize, teach you how to do it as well, so you know how to do it. This is recent too. It was this year, 2018. I love this stuff. You know, I want you to do this. Think of a number between 1 to 4. Think of a number between 1 to 4. Think of a number between 1 to 4. All right. Imagine right now. Think of a number between 1 to 4. Did you think of the number 3? 80% of you think of the number 3, and here's why: is because. And if I was live, I'd show you 80% of you get it wrong too. You would not have seen that. It says, think of a number between 1 to 4. It's a subconscious beta command. Your subconscious mind automatically goes to 3, 70% of the time. 20% it says the number 2. Imagine this. Imagine knowing what the answer is, how to negotiate something before the way you ask a question. Here's the easiest way to remember how to do it, okay? I got to get rid of this thing right here. All right. Easiest way to remember how to use your language. When you put a bunch of letters together to spell, and to spell is to cast a spell. So ask yourself, what's the spell that you're giving yourself by the words you're using? Are they negative or positive? And you put a bunch of those words together. At the end, you put a period or exclamation. That's called a sentence. So what's the sentence that you're giving yourself? Language is extremely powerful. It's very, very powerful. Not only is it powerful for you because you're not only giving the suggestion, but you're also receiving it as well. So you're hypnotizing yourself. And I hear people ask me all the time, how come I can never lose weight? Your subconscious mind will go, hey, because you don't exercise, you don't eat right. Besides, look at this cake, it's good for you. And then I hear other people saying, how come I can never become successful? I always procrastinate. Your subconscious mind goes, well, because why should you take a risk? Besides, why would you work harder? You got family. Take your time. Don't worry about it. There's plenty of time. So if you ask a bad question, you're going to get a poor answer. Is there a way to ask a better question, a more empowering question to get a better result? Absolutely. The most powerful thing you have is your language pattern. What if you said it like this? How can I get down to my ideal weight, enjoy the process, and influence others? Your subconscious mind goes, oh my gosh, enjoy the process, influence others, get down to my ideal weight? I don't think anybody's overweight. I think you have excess weight that doesn't belong to you. You just borrowed it too long, give it back. Because now it's a different mindset. And when you look at it like that, boom, you have a whole new approach to it. You're not going on some diet, never deprive yourself. How do I become massively successful, attract wealth into my life, influence others, and inspire others to do well? Boom, instead of saying, how come I always procrastinate? Your mind will find, oh, we can surround ourselves with this person. We can, what do we learn at this event? How do we learn from this person? Your subconscious mind will find those answers. You got to learn how to ask a better question. This is a cool video. When you get done with this webinar, I want you to Google hypnotist gets out a speeding ticket, and I'll show you the power of language. It's very powerful. It is going to blow your mind to watch the embedded commands. And I'm going to show you in our live event how come we respond certain ways. We talk about NLP extensively in that, because your language is very, very critical. But think of that, the words you're using and how you're using them, the sentence, are you giving yourself empowering language or is it tearing you down? And there's 3 ways of communicating: auditory, visual, kinesthetic. Auditory is going to listen to what you have to say and make sure it sounds good. Visual is going to see, they can see they get the picture, they see it, they can look at it and see what you're saying. And some are kinesthetic, it just feels right. They have a certain connection with you. You know what? Something just feels good about that. 3 different ways of communicating. Learn your power, learn your skills, and then you'll learn how to influence somebody in a positive way, to bring them up, not to tear them down. I love the language pattern. It's so powerful, Now, I want to show you something. Self-awareness versus self-observation. Up until now, all I've given you was information-based. You're aware that you procrastinate. You're aware that you have fear. You're aware that you could be doing more. You're aware that you want to lose weight. You're aware that you're smoking. That's self-awareness. That's all information-based. Self-observation is knowing when you're doing it and why you're doing something. The reason why you're doing it is because you're getting certain needs met. When are you doing it? Now, someone says, I don't buy that. Why would I procrastinate? Why? Because you don't have to take risks. You get more time than yourself. Why? You don't have to spend time analyzing the deal. So your subconscious goes, well, there it is. Instead of focusing on the result that you want. So what you do is you feel guilty about it. But you can make a change before, during, or after. Here's the critical part. Want to learn how to make a change? This is what I love. This is all action-based now. Before it was information-based. Is it possible you got some program in your subconscious mind that you don't like? Absolutely. Show you how to make that change. It's the most powerful thing. One, you got to have the right leverage. When I talk about leverage, I'm talking about really being in a positive way. Leverage is based on true passion. You got to have enough reasons why you want something. When I'm talking about leverage, you got to have reasons why. Let me ask you this, and be honest with yourself. And it's 80 to 90% of the audience will raise their hand. And if I want you to pay attention, if I was to give, you have to have reasons why. If I was to give you a check, or Scott gave you a check for $100,000 to increase your income, your profit by 10% over the next 90 days, you got a check for 100 grand, would you do it? And if you're smiling, going, yeah. Now, I ask you this, have you tried to increase your business before, but you felt stuck? And the answer is yes, it's because I gave you enough reasons why. And the reasons why have to be focused on something outside yourself. Boom, 100 grand, you say, oh my gosh, stress-free, I could buy more notes, I could do what I want to do, people will accept me. So all those things go through your mind immediately. Because guess what? It's all based on pleasure, massive pleasure. Then why didn't you do it before? Because you gave yourself an excuse. You only focused on yourself. That's the reason why you procrastinate, is because you focus on what's in it for you, what's not in it for you. You go, oh, that's not true. Really? If I got you live one-on-one, I could show you that live right in front of you. So you have enough reasons why. Now, here's what you want to do. What drives you is you got to have accountability. This is what's going to change your pattern in your subconscious mind for you to never procrastinate and eliminate fear. Accountability is based on massive pain. In other words, if you don't increase by 10% profit, so if you make $25,000 over the next 90 days, you'd make $2,500 more. That's it. Can you do that? I think so. If you got 100 grand to do that, you think you do that? The answer is yes. You know that because you'd have enough reasons why, right? And it's a little bit of effort. Your subconscious mind is at 10%, it's easy. Accountability is based on pain. If you don't do it, then you have to go to your family and you have to sit down with them and tell them that you didn't love them enough to increase your income by 10%, and they have to be homeless for 10 days. Because here's what will happen. Your subconscious mind will say, I will never do that. I would not do that. And guess what? Because of that, because you're doing it for somebody else now, you'll break that pattern of restriction instantly. And here's the good thing. Third is a new meaning. If you can increase it by 10% over 90 days, you want to do some math? What's that over a year? It's going to be way more than you think because it's compounding. But what will happen is you won't do it over 90 days. You start doing it in 60 days. And you won't do 10%, you do 15%. And here's the reason why I use 10% is because this, you got to really focus it. Your subconscious mind can accept that. If I was to tell you how to do 40% more business in a year, You'd shut down and go, no, I can't do it. Listen, I'm doing as much as I can now. I'm busy. I don't have time. And you'll find excuses because your subconscious mind says, wait a second, we don't have that ability. We're out of time. But 10% over 90 days for 100,000, forget about the 100 grand. That's a one-time check. Imagine now what's going to do to your subconscious mind. You want to become a very successful person quickly, apply the 10%. Here's what's going to happen. I want to show you the power of that. This is understanding how your mind works. I know you're capable of doing it. I know you deserve it. I know you have the strategies. I know you are willing to do it, and I know you want to do it. But you got to understand how your mind works. Now we're running the subconscious. We're getting in the hard drive of our computer to reprogram it, get rid of those behaviors that we don't like, and empower the ones that we do. So we never have a life of regret. Show the power of 10%. Young lady, 364 pounds. Big my whole life. I tried every diet. You've heard the story. Look at her. She wasn't born like that, but she's been like that most of her life. She came to me and had a situation. I told her 10%, right? She wanted to drop 100 pounds within a year. I don't want to, you could read it, but I want to keep up on time. 100 pounds in a year. Guess what? 1 year, she dropped 110 pounds. No surgery, no diet, no pills. Just so you know, this has none of that. I'm just showing you the power of your mind, okay? And I'm going to give the exact program, if you want, the exact program that she did this with. And not just her, hundreds of people, men and women, that have been big their whole life, that have the story, you know? She hit a roadblock. She came to me. She says, I'm stuck. I'm a little stressed out. I worked with her one-on-one. If you want me to work with you one-on-one, I'll be more than happy to do that with you. Guess what? Now, 2 years later, she dropped 165 pounds, kept it off. Not only did, guess what else happened? And I think you know the story, Scott. Not only did she feel better, guess what happened to her business? Boom, it skyrocketed. Because guess what? Guess what? She feels differently now. If she knows she's a successful person, if she can conquer this, making money is easy. And you know what she does? She sells candy. Guess what? Tempted. But guess what? She took control of it. She's not put the weight on. And this has been several years now. And she influenced hundreds of people now because of that. Because of her, she's influenced hundreds of people. Here's what I told her. I'm going to tell you exactly how we did it. And this applies whether in a relationship, in business, in losing weight, stop smoking, whatever that is to you. You got to understand how your mind works. I'm going to show you how to become massively successful. You need to have a millionaire mindset. I promise you the money will be coming into your account. You just got to follow certain strategies. 10% rule. I said, could you eat 10% less per meal? Eat a piece of chicken or steak, could you eat 10% less? Yeah, she kind of laughed like, seriously? Now, if you can't throw any food away, then put 10% less on your plate. All right. I said, can you eat 10% healthier, more live food? She goes, yeah. She's waiting for the big drop, the big bomb to drop. You know, okay, when do I got to do this? I said, you got to move 10% more. The average person takes 2,000 to 3,000 steps in America and Canada. Could you do more? In Europe, they take 10,000. Scott, you've been to Europe. Ain't nobody fat over there. If they are, they're visiting from America or Canada.
Into that. Yeah, exactly. And you walk around, take 10,000 steps a day. It's the truth.
But you don't even think about it. You don't even realize it.
Yep.
You know why they go to McDonald's there? For the internet. God's honest truth.
True story. True story. Yep.
Yeah. Wide sidewalks, skinny streets. So get a pedometer, move 10% more. If you take 2,000 steps a day, take 200 for a week and then move it up. Piece of cake, she says, right? It's funny how she said piece of cake, right? I said, can you cut back on garbage that you're eating? Snacks, sodas, fried foods. In other words, if you go to McDonald's, can you order a small fry instead of a large? You'll survive. If you drink 6 sodas a day, can you drink 5.5? You'll survive. That's it. And I asked her, I said, do you like to eat chocolate? She said, yeah. I go, good, I'll let you keep that one. Never deprive yourself, right? I said, eat it in the morning. That's it. That's how she lost all her weight, because she's had a new program in her subconscious mind. And you can apply the same thing in your note business as well. The exact same thing. And you want to become massively successful. That's the result of that, okay? I just want to recap real fast, okay? Remember, you want to be, how do you become successful? 4-minute mile, mirror match. Do what we do, you'll produce the same result. You have so many different opportunities with what you put together, Scott, with people here. Financing, note buying, information. They can't fail unless they absolutely do nothing. Amen. Conscious mind, analyze, create a part. Subconscious takes everything literally. From there, we create our patterns of behaviors and beware of the, remember, pattern behavior. There's nothing quite as beautiful as Italy and the spring. Pattern restriction, know your pattern restrictions are. Hypnosis is nothing more than influence and persuasion. We're all influenced. Choose the programs you want to watch. TV program, it's called program. TV programs, it's called a program. It's right there in the title, okay? Live in imagination reality. Write your goals down. Remember 1952, Yale University did that study? Be clear on what you want and why you want it. Patterns are in your subconscious mind already. They're already there. All I'm going to do is expose them. How many of you believe you can think of 850 numbers at random without repeating them? I believe y'all can do it now, right? Language is hypnotic. Think of numbers between 1, 2, 4. You know, how do I get down to my ideal weight, enjoy the process, influence others? How do I become massively successful, enjoy my life, and influence others, okay? You already have the millionaire mindset, and if you don't, I will make sure you have that. I will not let you fail. I am not going to let you fail. Scott has given you so many strategies how to make this work. I want to make sure you implement them, and not through hard work, to make it simple and easy. Get a new mindset. You got to have the right leverage. It's based on massive pleasure, commitment, pain. A new meaning is all pleasure again, and applying the 10%. I know I've rushed this thing. You know it too, Scott. I'm talking like a maniac. I'm going crazy. I'm even sweating in areas I didn't think I'd sweat. And I just waxed all the hair off my body, so I shouldn't be sweating anyway. I did all this things.
TMI, Mark. TMI, buddy.
It was very painful too, but I wanted to look good for you, Scott. I want to make sure I came across looking good, you know. But think of what we've learned over the last hour. I mean, this is just the tip of the iceberg. Here's what I want to do. I have a 3-day. It used to be 2-day. Remember, Scott? It was always 2-day. Yeah. Now it's even 3. The reason why is I do a bonus. It's like a half-a-day bonus. January 25th through the 27th. And I'm doing a couple of them a year, but this is the next one in Vegas. It's 3 days. And here's what I'm going to cover. This is blow your mind. First day, first of all, we're not going to have any more excuses. New story. No more, I can't do it. No. We're going to create a brand new story. I'm going to hypnotize you several times, but the first day I hypnotize you for the show. We do a show and I dissect the show. What are your patterns? It's not a right or wrong thing. Recognize your patterns. I'll do about an hour show and I dissect the whole show, an hour and a half, where we really get into it. That really, we did this last event, Scott, blew everybody's mind. You know why? I've done over 10,000 shows. I didn't even record it. You know why? Because I've done this before. Worst mistake ever made. Because everybody goes, can I please have a copy of that so I can review it? Oh my gosh. Never will I do that again. I'm recording it so people can get a copy, okay? But I hypnotize them several times. Even if they don't go under, it has nothing to do with it. Because it's hypnosis, another one, influence and persuasion, right? You will be hypnotizing other people by Saturday. You're going to learn how to do this because then you can empower others. It's not about me. It's about giving you. If I teach you how to do it, you're going to become unstoppable. I'm going to show you how to do it. I'm going to give you the music, everything. You know, how to create powerful relationships. You know, Scott, when we're at events, the most powerful thing we have are the people that are there because the relationship we create will get us to the next level. How did I meet you? At a live event. Yep. You know, and look at now where it's gotten us, you know. I am so grateful for, you know, to create these relationships are so strong. Learning NLP, really learning and understanding. We're going to have an NLP expert that's going to teach you in strategies how to utilize NLP, neuro-linguistic programming. Google hypnotist gets out a speeding ticket, okay? And I'm going to teach you how to duplicate the system. This is going to be 2.5, 3 days of, it's going to blow your mind. No doubt in my mind, you're going to be successful. I'm not going to take any more excuses, okay? Neither are you. We're not going to let that happen. And guess what, Scott? I'm also going to give him a bonus. You get to go to Paul Fink's experience, you know, 3 days. Well, let me give the dates. And yeah, here's the deal. You go to as many of them as want, as often as they want, no expiration. Because I don't ever want to hold people say, well, no, you got to do it by here. What if your schedule doesn't allow that? Can you come to another event? Heck yeah, as many times. Guess what? Paul Fink, the same. Those are the next 3 days. We'll share those with you. We'll have them up there. He's going to teach you how to take your business to the next level financially. He strategizes on business. I'm going to get your mindset so you cannot fail. How to attract more customers and clients, convert more sales, create more profit, less overhead. That in itself is profitable. 10%. Cut back on your overhead, increase your profit, right? Strategies on how you can double your income as well. Guess what? 2 events, 2 people, 6 days of training. Are you a consumer? Or are you an investor? This is where you got to say, okay, nothing wrong with either one, but identify which one. If you're saying, how much does it cost versus how much can I make? You're a consumer. Shift your mind just for a second, and I'm going to show you how it's going to blow your mind, okay? Very cheap, very inexpensive. That's the total cost. It's nothing. Okay. $797. And here's the deal, Scott, you know for a fact that, you know what? Special prices because of you guys, man. And I want to be so part of this. Now, here's the other thing I want to do. I also want to personally call every single person. I will personally call you to make sure, where are you at? What do you need help with? How can I assist you? And your event doesn't start in January. No, it starts as soon as you go, Scott, I'm in. Because you know why? Am I not telling? Do I call everybody?
You do, totally, Mark.
And they go like this, I can't believe you really called me. That's what, I can't believe you called me. I just did a webinar and I told people, I go, if you're stuck and it's your fault, because you know what? You have my personal cell phone number that you have the ability to call me. I had a lady call me crying, goes, I felt stuck and I didn't think I could call you. You better call me. We're in this together, man. I'm going to personally call every single person out there. That's my cell phone number. That doesn't ring. That's it right there. You call that number, this phone rings. I have one phone, that's it. My wife says,
that's totally it.
You shouldn't give out your cell phone number. Why? I'm going to call him from that. And some of you call me. Now remember, if I don't answer, I call you back. I leave my phone on at night, but I don't answer that night. I leave it in the kitchen. Okay, that's my cell phone number. But here's the other thing. I want to make sure that we give them bonuses. This is the insurance to make sure they get the results now. I don't want them to have to wait till January. No, you're not going to wait. You're going to get results now, because I know what this is going to do. Every testimony that I put up there, which I don't have that many because I run out of time, is nobody's even attended a live event yet. It's all before. And it's based on this, because I know sometimes you may not be able to make the January one, but we'll have another one soon after. And you know what? This is the insurance policy. You know, I got my Quick Start program. Get you in the right mindset, financial success. I also have a workbook and then a hypnotic CD audio program. It's not a CD anymore, it's audio program. On 10%, how to apply 10%. Number one, all my programs are based on this mindset. Get the right mindset. Once you have the mindset, boom, what are the reasons why you want something? Remember the three things? The reasons are the strongest thing. And guess what? The moves. I hypnotize you to make the right moves. That's $100 value. I'm throwing it in. I want you to have that. That's the first audio program you're going to listen to. If you only got that, you'd make more than the $797. If that's all you got and did nothing else, you'd make more than that. Then the power of influence. This is one I really love. I have a police officer friend of mine. He says the most powerful tool he has, it's not his gun, dog, mace, taser. It's the language he uses. I'm going to teach you how and what influences everybody else. There's 2 videos on there that teach you all about visual, auditory, kinesthetic, how to communicate, what to say, how to make a decision, how to ask the right question, how to empower somebody else, what influences other people, how to communicate in ways through email, through telephone and all that. Just this program, only this one, if you only got that one, only that one, and you only use it for 30 days would make you more than that. Not only that, guess what? You get to write it off. So if you didn't write it off, you'd still make more money. That I'm going to give you too. The reason why I want to make sure you have so many tools that you utilize so you have no excuses. And I'm going to call you to make sure you don't have any excuses. Remember the lady that lost all the weight? This is the exact program she got. Losing weight, audio CD, exercise, how to move your body more, not to join a gym. Some of you don't have a weight problem. You have a storage problem. You have stress in your life based on a previous experience that you're giving a meaning to. Well, I'm going to get rid of that in the event, the live event, and eliminate snacks and junk food. These are all hypnotic programs. And there's also, we've got another audio program that a doctor and I did. We're including that $345 value. If all you did was listen to the stress, would you be healthier? Yes, absolutely. Would you want to move more? Would your communication skills be different? Would you apply at least 10% more? See how they all tie together? I spent 6 years creating this and designing this. And the guy that helped me write it was the guy that actually hired Tony Robbins and helped work with Tony Robbins. Him and Tony Robbins are good friends. I surrounded myself with the top people in this business because I wasn't the expert in that field. Certain things, you surround yourself with it. I'm putting that in there as well. Now, this is based on money, making money, and creating passion. and attractive things in your life. Eliminate fears. I'm going to get you to eliminate fears, stop procrastinating, learn how to negotiate, and what you want to attract in your life. And the other thing, and Scott, and knowing you and your wife, you are just like me and my wife. I believe the most powerful thing we have going for us is the love we have for our spouse. Because when you feel empowered and you can do things for your wife or your husband that you know will empower them, that's when you become powerful and unstoppable. And everything else falls into place. You want to stop procrastinating? You want to eliminate fear? Have the passion. So I have a passion for couples audio program in there. That you know what? Doesn't matter how long you've been together. My last live event, somebody said, I said, how's your passion? Goes, well, I've been married 22 years. We don't have time. We just get caught up. I go, you can't get caught up. No, your relationship comes first. Forget about making money. Get your relationship in place, and then the money will come. By the end of that live event, Scott, they were in tears. They were passionate. And you know what? Their business mind was clear. I would do anything for my wife, and she'd do anything for me. I am a phenomenal husband. She is a phenomenal wife. Yep. And it's because of that. And you have the same, and I think that's why we click so well, you know?
Well, I don't have a wife yet, but anyway, Steph and I are very close. Yes.
Yeah. I call her your wife because
that's exactly right. She's joking here, texting me back and forth because we're planning on attending our January event, actually, the two of us.
That is so cool.
Yeah. So.
Oh my God. Hey, guess what? I'm inviting Tony Robbins to it.
Oh, wow.
Awesome. Yeah, he won't show up. I'm gonna invite Ellen and Oprah and Tony. But I can say I invited them, right?
Exactly right.
This program is $345. They're getting that. Put it in there. And this is my favorite one, but nobody listens to it. How to hypnotize us. I teach you how to do it. I give you the music, how to do it. You're going to be doing it in the event. There are videos and all that. 4 audios, 3 videos. I threw in there a self-confidence CD because you know what? They're going to say, I don't have the confidence to do it. Oh, I knew that. So guess what? Once I hypnotize you with the confidence, you're good. Because you know what? I didn't have confidence to do a webinar, Scott, until you said, do one. Now I do.
Yep.
If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be here to this day. And I've done webinars almost twice a month now because of that. You know why? Because I broke that pattern restriction. You don't think I had some of the same challenges, but you know what? I listen to my stuff and I have people like you accountable that keep me accountable too.
Yep.
You know, I'm throwing that in, $295 value. Check this out. It says a 2-day seminar on DVD. My old seminar, I put I'm not on DVD anymore. It's actually on download. I can send them the thumb drives. I have all this if they want that as well as the download. The whole thing is on that $700 value. Getting all this, Scott, because it's a bonus. They need to have it. Come to my live. I'm pointing like you can see me pointing, right? You can attend my total transformation. It's 3 days, as many times as you want, and you can bring a guest. You and your guest, your spouse comes with you. It's for 2 people, you and your spouse. And you can go to Paul Fink as many times as you want. It doesn't expire. I encourage you to come back because I want to reinforce it. That's why I give you the live 2-day video so you can reinforce it. Over $4,000 value. Come as many times as you want. It's going to blow your mind. It gets better and better each time. You know what? Good for you. Comes with it, right? So you get 2 events. My next one in Vegas. I just signed the contract with the Suncoast. And you get anyone at Paul's. Go to as many as you want, as many times. I teach the one in January. Paul teaches the other one. 2 separate programs. You get it all. I already told you the price, $797. $797, you know. That's the cell phone I'm calling you from. Now, Scott, if they think I'm trying to sell them something, absolutely. I absolutely want to say, I know the results you're going to get. There is no doubt in my mind. No more excuses. I'm going to make sure that you have to intentionally not apply what Scott has taught you and not apply anything I'm going to teach you in order to fail. Impossible. You can't. And that's $797. If you don't write it off, it's for 2 people. It's $400 if you don't write it off. If you write it off, it's even more. So yes, I am trying to. I know I'm going to sell you on taking control of your life in ways you never thought were possible to get a result you know you always wanted. I will not allow that pattern restriction in your life anymore. No more excuses. And it's going to be a rocking time. We're going to rock them, Scott. And yep. I can't wait for you and Steph to be. That's going to be so cool. Now I'm even more pumped up. Good thing you didn't tell me that before, man. I'd have been running around this room.
Right. Now the link to sign up isn't successcombination.com though, right?
No.
It's the link I put together here.
Yes.
If you want to sign up, because some people are like, oh, I tried to sign up for the link, I don't see it.
No,
the link that I actually put a link together here for Mark because he called me yesterday. He's like, hey, I need you to put a link together. So I did. It's your note. Get this, yournotecamptransformation.com. So if you go to yournotecamptransformation.com, you'll see the sign up for $7.97. Includes all the things that Mark is talking about. We're just collecting for you, Mark, right?
Yeah. And then what I'm going to do, Scott, is as soon as I get their email, boom, I'm going to send them all the programs on a download. I'm going to call them. So if they want to get the actual thumb drives with all the programs on there, I will as well, as a bonus, give that to them as well.
Yeah.
I'm not going to try.
And I'm not saying that we're going. We're going. And literally, I just wrote it on the calendar here. Stuff's like, okay, I need to go. I'm like, yep. There's things I can learn. There's things I can get better at. There's a variety of things. So
I am so pumped. The people that are going to be there are going to blow your mind.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just blow your mind.
Yeah. We had Jerry Briggs was at your last event. Who's a student, came back just so excited. Gail Villanueva went to the event as well, had a great time. Absolutely love it. I was getting text messages from them both during the event. They're saying, oh my God, this is awesome. Well,
the other thing is, we do some transformations there when people feel like they're stuck, they don't know why. And it is life changing. It's called total transformation. We talk about making money, Scott, and, but the bottom line is it's way more than that. Because if you made more money, but you're not happy and you're not fulfilled, then I failed, and we get our priorities straight. And you know what? I got to tell you, man, some of these things are tough on me too, but we got to do what we got to do. I live for this, because I know I'm on purpose right now. I've done over 10,000 shows. And the one thing I know how to do is shows. But the one thing I love to do more than anything else is make a difference in somebody's life that has been stuck. I could tell you stories that'll blow your mind, and it's like, how did this happen,
Right.
And then I go to my wife.
We got a question.
Yeah.
Let's see here with the question, when are the live events? Bill, if you click on the link, it'll take you over there to it. Like we said, the first one in Vegas is January 25th through the 27th. What casino is it at again, Mark?
It's going to be at the Suncoast, which is off the strip. I'm sending a link. I blocked some rooms out for people, but this is going to be where you jump on it right away. I haven't even sent the link out yet to everybody because I just signed the contract and I think it goes live Monday. Okay. And so, and then they can go to Paul Fink's event. He has them all over as well. So you can see that. Yeah.
Allison says she signed at the last new camp. Was wondering if you would mail her the thumb drive. She was unable to attend the live event due to illness. But Allison, if you drop me an email, I'll forward it over to Mark. Or you should have Mark's contact info because I know he reached out to you. But you signed up last time, 6 months ago for sure.
Oh, totally. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, she got it in a download, but I will also send that. Shoot it over to me. I'll mail it out tomorrow. I can mail it out tomorrow, the next day, or Monday.
Awesome.
I'll do that.
Good stuff. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. So, good. She says, thank you. It's perfect. Yeah, I'm serious, guys. I'm not saying this. Honestly, there's a couple of things you hit there. And Steph was sitting there texting back and forth. Hey, we should do this. We should hit this. We've got the weekend off to do that. Yeah, for sure. The 25th through the 27th. And then we got to look at the rest of it. We won't be able to make the Paul Fink's event in Vegas there because we've got our last workshop. But
don't even worry about it. He has 5 a year, so you can go whenever you want, whatever's convenient, Yeah. But I'm teaching this one in January. That's me. It's gonna blow your mind. I spend a month to a month and a half just going over studying how to improve it. So we're always growing, that's what I love. I just love doing that,
Yeah, exactly.
Any other questions?
What other questions, everybody? Opportunities to get signed up, take advantage of this now. If you're listening to this at a future time, definitely take advantage of this, guys. If you're wanting to kick the year off, hey, start doing stuff now, taking action. Because like he talked about before, quit procrastinating, get started, and make 2018 even more awesome for you.
And this is the cheapest it's ever been. Everybody else makes a lot more.
Yeah, those are looking for the link. I put the link in the chat roll. It's yournotecamptransformation.com. So if you go to chat, Wayne, if you're sitting there in Zoom, look at the chat roll. I literally typed it in there for everybody. It's to everybody. Hang on. I actually need to answer this live. Whoops. Actually, go back done. Yeah. One more time. I'll post it back in there. It's a hyperlink. It'll take you directly there to the checkout for $7.97. All the things are included. We'll be sending Mark a list of everybody gets signed up this weekend, or anybody that comes through will immediately send it over to him, so he's able to reach out to you almost immediately, unless, of course, he's traveling.
No, I'm not traveling. I'm living at home until after Thanksgiving.
Oh, nice. Awesome. Good stuff there. I'm looking forward to it, man.
Man, I am so excited you're coming. That is so cool. I can't wait. I just made my
own day. Shit.
I just made my own day. And you know what else, Scott? Because now you'll be able to experience it. Now, you know what? I have people come to my event because I want them to experience it. So then you can say, this is what I got out of it. Because what you're going to get out of it may be different from somebody else's, you know? So
totally agree with that, man. Totally agree with that. Bill asked how many people are at these events?
The last one, we had a very small one. There were 78 people. The one before was 135. The one before was 165. I'm expecting about 200 to 300 at this one.
Yeah, the first of the year, yeah.
First, yeah, and we're doing a lot of events. And the thing is now is I've got on a lot more. I got two more stages, and it might be pretty big. That's why when I send you the link, jump on that and lock in your hotel right away.
Right.
I mean, it's like I think $100 or it's and I picked that weekend so it's affordable to go with the hotels and all that. I intentionally picked that weekend for that.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's not Super Bowl weekend.
It's the weekend before. Yeah, it's the weekend before Super Bowl.
Exactly.
It is not Super Bowl weekend.
Exactly. Once again, yournotecamptransformation.com. It's Vegas in January, where most of you are freezing your asses off. Why not come down to Vegas, learn yourself, learn NLP, help you with the weight loss, help you with the confidence, help you to overcome your obstacles, guys and gals out there. Great event. Mark does a phenomenal job. What time it kicks off? Is it 9 to 5 on Friday as well too, Mark? Or
no, it's not. It starts in the afternoon on Friday.
Okay.
And the reason why is I try to get people. Some will fly in Thursday, but some want to fly in Friday, and they don't have to take an extra day. And that's why we kick it off then. It's probably going to wind up going 3 days because we're just keeping. I mean, you know how it is, Scott.
Yeah.
You know, this was a 60-minute. I'm up. I at least finished on time. Okay, I didn't.
You're good, man. Good. Any other questions from Mark about the events, guys? yournotecamptransformation.com. yournotecamptransformation.com is the link to get signed up at $7.97. Repeat again. Wayne says, hope that is going to be 2019. LOL.
Oh my gosh. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm changing.
Thanks, Wayne. Appreciate it. Yes, that's January 25th to the 27th, 2019.
Yep. 2019.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Thanks, Wayne.
Hey, I didn't make it through high school. Okay, I've got a diploma, but I didn't graduate. It's getting dark here. I'm losing my color. Can you see that?
A little bit. It's getting darker out there. Same here, man.
4:30, man.
All right, Chief. Well, hey, man.
I am so excited about you guys coming.
Yeah, we're excited about it too, Mark. We're really jacked up about it. So it's on the calendar. We're rocking and rolling. I literally have a training, then I go to the Bahamas, and then we have Vegas. So 3 weekends in a row. So
I'll go to the Bahamas with you. It's only fair.
I'm training out there. All right, brother. Man, thank you so much, Mark. It's an amazing price, amazing offer. Great bonuses on there, and really jacked up about it.
Hey, thank you again and again and again, Scott. Happy birthday again.
Too,
I told you a
lot.
lot. I said, run down here and yell, happy birthday, Scott.
Hey, make sure you give your lovely wife a big hi for us, okay?
I will, brother. Thank you,
awesome.
And Steph too. All right.
Will do. Bye. All right, everybody. That is going to wrap it up for this final episode of day 2 of Note Camp 6.0. What a great day 2. Take an opportunity. Your notecamptransformation.com is the link for that. If you're watching this on Facebook Live, the link is in the comments as well for you out there that are watching this on live replay. So look at the comments, and I'll go back and put the description on Facebook. But otherwise, if you're listening online, go ahead. The link will still be good. If you're listening to this podcast 2 minutes later, Just the dates will be a little bit different as well for you. So have a great evening, everybody. We'll see you guys all tomorrow for day 3.
See you, buddy.
See you, bud. Bye.